Welcome to this week's episode of the World of Roofing podcast, hosted by John Kenny of Cotney's Attorneys and Consultants and Andrew Rowley of roofmapping.com, where we will introduce you to a new roofing industry craftsman from around the world.
All right. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you again to another episode of World in Roofing, joined by my co-host, Andrew Rowley, and today's special guest is Brunno Batista. He's traveling, so he's coming from us live from Chicago today. Brunno, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you, brother?
Doing excellent. Every day's an adventure and every day's exciting. Andrew, how's things going over there on the other side of the pond today?
Yeah, very good. You're all doing well.
Winter moving in yet?
Pardon?
Is winter moving in on you yet?
It is, yeah. It's a little bit colder. Mild today, but yeah, it's getting cold.
It's a balmy 70 degrees Fahrenheit here today in Florida. I'm enjoying every
what
bit
you
of
were
it.
talking about. I'd be impressed.
I was waiting for the cold weather here in Chicago, but it didn't happen. Right now, we're like in the 50s, 60s. I mean, it's cold in Florida, but not for Chicago. It's like a walk in the park for them, you know?
Chicago today, they're outside in shorts and t-shirts. It's a beautiful spring day for them.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
So, Brunno, so what Andrew and I do, we're bring you into the show. I don't know if you've seen us yet on this and that, but we just want to ask you a question. Our audience loves to learn about the craftsmen from around the world. And I know personally you have a very interesting story. I've spoke to you before on it many times. So if I would, why don't you start out and tell our audience a little bit about your history, how you got started in roofing, tie your family history into it, however you want to start. I'm going to give you the mic right now and go right ahead and bring us up to speed.
Thank you so much, John. My story is pretty much similar to your story too. You know, I know you very well, John. Back in World War II, my grandfather was a roofer, slave work. All he used to do back in the days was slave work. You know, World War II started in Italy. From my father's side, we all from Italy. So my family from my father's side decided to go to Brazil to escape the World War II. And then when they moved to Brazil, you got to remember in Brazil, there's, third world countries, there's not much of slave work. And when you go on, especially if you're in a residential, you see more like brick and concrete. So my grandfather opened a waterproofing company. And what they used to do was waterproofing, pretty much pavement, driveways, a building envelope, all the way to the top of the building. And when it comes to commercial buildings, when you go on third world countries, not anymore. The last 15 years has changed. You know, you see asphalt membrane, you see the cold apply, hot apply system, you see also single ply. But back in the days, all you see was a concrete was the deck, and that's it. You go there, there's nothing much to do, besides do some repairs on the concrete. My grandfather opened this waterproofing company, and then right in the 1970s, in the beginning of the 1970s, he had a chance to move to New Jersey. New Jersey, there's a lot of Italian people. As you know, you're from New Jersey. We're Jersey boys, right? So my grandfather was able to open a roofing company with one of his relatives. And it was a local unit, Newark 04, right? I think your family was part of the Newark, New Jersey Union. I'm just interested to see if, they probably know each other. We don't even know about it, So my grandfather opened this roofing company along with his cousin, and everything was good. He was kind of like what people in New York and New Jersey do, when the winter comes, right? They all snowbirds, right? They all go to Florida. So my grandfather, instead of go to Florida, he would go to Brazil because it's a tropical weather. At that time, my father, was born and raised. My father was the first one born in Brazil out of all my family from my father's side. So he met my mom. My mom is full Brazilian. And he was there helping, the business. And my grandfather would come every 6 months to spend, the winter in Brazil because Brazil is like Florida. It's always sunshine. It's beautiful. From Rio de Janeiro, right? And one of the visits right in the end of the 80s, my grandfather had a stage 4 cancer. So there was not much he could do. So he asked my father to take over the business. So my father came in 1993 and took over the business of my father. And that's when I start roofing, that was that time, because in 1993, my father came, we came in 1994. I didn't know a single word in English. You see, I still have an accent. Probably I don't know much else. But that's when I started, little by little in the winter, summer, spring break, I would play around with hot mop and torch. I was even a cattle boy, if you believe it or not. So, but that's how my life in the roofing started, and there was one point in my life, actually, I hate roofing. I quit. I got a scholarship. I was very good in play soccer, I guess I have the mixed blood of Brazilian and Italian. So I ended up getting a scholarship, and I moved to Florida, but I hate what I was doing. I was working from 8 to 5. I was working for a big financial institution. And I was like, I had opportunity to work for a big roofing manufacturer at the time. A friend of mine, which is a friend of mine up to this day, he invited me to work for this big manufacturer. And then I took the opportunity, and I'm in the roofing since then. I never left after, leaving for a little while, but everyone says it's kind of like a mafia, right? When you're there, you can never escape. So I came back, and now I'm doing my things in the online.
Yeah, roofing is exactly like that saying. Once you leave, we'll pull you right back in. You're coming in.
And I try. I swear to God, I try.
So I know. I'm sure anybody watching this is followed you on social media, and you have been for years. You're a huge advocate for the roofing industry. You are always promoting quality. I love the way you do it. You actually promote the quality by showing the poor quality, which is a great way of doing it. Instead of, you're actually taking this and you're looking at, hey, these are what you should not do. And, I looked at one the other day, I just saw with the, I guess it was about a subcontractor not getting paid, and they went up and sliced the roof all up. And I mean, you cover a lot of subjects that need to be broadcasted. So appreciate that. So let's jump back into so when you went back in for these manufacturers, your main role was very much quality control and training, correct?
Exactly. Actually, was a technical. I was a field guy. I used to be dispatched to do patch and repair, working for a big manufacturer. I can mention name. There's no problem, because I still love them a lot. Tremical. I have good friends at that. And I was doing patch and repairs. That's what I used to do all day long. Every time they have any leaks related to warranty, I would go and fix those leaks. But the funny thing is that I was one of my philosophy is I was trying to treat people the way you want to be treated, right? So every time I had a customer, I would treat them so well that they would ask for me. They wouldn't ask for anybody else. I could be on vacation. They say, nope, I want Brunno on my side, no one else. Oh, he's in vacation. I'll wait for him. Even when I got promoted to a different position at Tremical, they still want me. And I'm like, I'm no longer doing patch and repairs. But they're like, Brunno, we want you here on our site. So I had to talk to my supervisors at the time and say, hey, listen, they only want me. I'm going to go there and take care of this customer. And they say, okay, go ahead, Brunno. So, but yes, I started on the technical side, and little by little, I climbed the ladder to a better position, a better status. And as you've seen that people follow me a lot on social media, I never had a plans to be that well known. I just, created something that was unique at that time. Because if you look back on social media, everyone would promote things like, hey, my name is John for roofing. Call me today for free warranty repair. So I created something that was kind of beyond LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, you always seen in a professional way. Not that I was unprofessional, or unethical, but I created something that it kind of shocked a lot of people in certain ways, which I did end up getting a lot of hate emails. But then by the time I was like, you know what, it is part of, if you put your face out there, and people start to see you, it doesn't matter. You're always going to have people that will not like you no matter what you do. So I was like, I have to take that chance, because, I have so many people telling, man, I love what you do. I love the content that you put on social media. I decided to create this. There's people that actually create a podcast because of me. And I'm like, whoa, and they email me or private message, say, Brunno, you make my day today. I was a little depressed today. You make me smile. I can't wait until I get the next Ocean's Nightmare or the roofing dance that I put, every Friday. They love it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it,
Sure. I know I have another question coming up, but Andrew, anything you want to kick over to Brunno? All right.
I mean, we've been linked in, well, buddies for quite a while. I think that, your who says roofing's not an art, the selections of photos that you put on there is really what we just want to promote on roofmapping.com, because it is an art form. Some of those are breathtaking. I was talking to someone today, actually, who said, that copper roof that you shared was just absolutely beautiful. And, although it's a roof, it can have that effect on people. And that's part of the inspire that we want to do is the website, is just get all these beautiful roofs in one place so that people can explore them, because they're dotted all over the world. And unless they're in one place, they're very difficult to find. And also, your roofing history, to see those, those guys and gals on the roof, it would be nice to pinpoint that to the roof they were doing. And I know that's a bit more difficult with historical records, but maybe that's something we can do now, is if you're working on a roof, let's tag you on it as well, so that you were the operative. So if they see a photo, that's me back in, 2006 or something, in years to come. But yeah, it's building up that whole history, isn't it? Personal history and business history, product history, and all of those different things. Just bring it all into one place. That's what we're trying to do. But yeah, you promote it so well, Bruno.
I remember you were one of the first ones that every time I would put who say roofing is not art, you like roofing mapping.
Yeah.
There you go, Bruno. I love your content. And it was something that, was incredible for me. I'm like, oh, thank you. I got one that was fan. It was Angel. You were one of the first ones that loved the contents, and you're right. You create a history, you put a track. Look, I'm putting videos right now. I'm in the 40s, maybe when I'm in the 80s, I can show my kids. How cool is that? I can show my grandkids, hey, listen, your dad at one point made those videos. Might be lame for you right now, because who knows what they're gonna create. But this is a history that can never be released. Yeah. Removed from the social media. It'll be there forever. I put those videos on YouTube. I put those videos on Instagram. So it's a trace of you that is gonna keep going for the rest of your lives, and other people's too as well.
So one good question I got here for you, Bruno. This will be good for you. I know you're going to enjoy this one. So we're going to do lessons learned, right? So you've been in the industry a while now, and you've gone from the contractor side. You left a little bit. We pulled you back in. Then you got onto the manufacturing side, which you're still at today, where you're working with the contractor from the other side of the fence. So, and you know the industry very well. You work with organizations such as NRCA and different ones. So you're involved daily. So I guess my question, what I'd like to ask you is, if lessons learned over your career, if you were to sit down with a young person thinking of coming into roofing right now, what advice would you give them?
I'll tell you this roofing industry is so big, but yet everyone knows each other. It's just incredible how, people are connected to each other. One of the advices I give to them, is, if you're in a sales role, or if you're in any position, you never know who you're gonna, create or piss off. Or, I did piss off a lot of people when I was a little bit younger, and I still do, But if I could go back in time, I would kind of like, hey, wait a minute, let me see what can I say, because it could eventually create a domino effect and affect a lot of people. So I think it's just, one of the things I never done before is bashing people. If you see me on social media, every time I have a podcast too as well, one of the things I do, I make that person feel comfortable, and it's always about that person. It's not about talking about someone's products or about who is bad or who's the best. It's all about who are you in the roofing industry. So I think listen to people is one of the biggest advice that I give to it, and just calm down. If sometimes you don't agree with something, just walk back and then just silence is gold, right? Is that a old saying that people say? And don't say what you want to say, because a lot of times when you're young, you have that blood that you want to explode, and you angry, you want to say something, but you calm down. Don't say those things, because it might affect you, not in the present, but might be in the future,
No, that's sage advice. It definitely, so kind of you're recommending don't be the Brunno 1.0 or the John 1.0. We've all been that way, or Andrew 1.0, kind of get to that 2.0, 3.0. Think first, be careful what you say, because you are right. One thing about the roofing industry, and I've said this, it's a family, and it is the absolute largest, smallest industry that you could possibly be involved in. And people that I had contact with 35 years ago in the industry, I still have contact with today. So, even though I'm in a different part of the country, than I was 35 years ago. It still revolves around. I mean, heck, looking now with technology, here we are. We got the, England on, we got Chicago, we got Florida. It does not matter anymore. We're getting even
Absolutely.
tighter niche because of technology. So that's sage advice. So Andrew, any closing that you have for? I'll give Bruno last word here before we close out. Anything you have?
Well, Bruno, do you have a specific number of sugar that you put in your coffee in the morning, or is it just?
Oh, you saw that video today? Yeah, man, it's about, I do have 15 of those. Yes. Yeah, maybe that's the reason I gain weight, I lose weight, I gain weight, I lose weight. But I gotta go back on the gym. That's for sure. Right now I'm traveling a lot, represent IB Roof Systems.
Yeah.
By the way, I would love to introduce you to Jason Stanley.
Yeah, please do.
So we can put some of those IB roof on the map.
Yeah, look good.
And that's it. But I drink coffee. But believe it or not, I'm not much fan of hot coffee. I like cold coffee, like a frappuccino from Starbucks. But unfortunately, in the hotel I'm staying, I asked right away, "Do you guys have cold coffee?" No, we don't, but we can make with ice. I said, "No, never mind." Because it's always like attached to it. It doesn't taste like the Starbucks close to my house.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, Bruno, I've known you for quite a while now, and you only have one speed, and that's 1,000 miles an hour fast forward. So
there you go.
I appreciate you for that. I think that's fantastic. But you have a passion, no matter what you get into, is a passion. So any of our listeners out there, you can connect up with Bruno on LinkedIn, Facebook, but he runs different types of social media. Like he has, Roofing's Not an Art, which is, a play on it really is an art. He puts a lot of good things on there. And also too, I love your OSHA, you're putting it out there. You're taking, instead of preaching the good that you have to do, you're taking what is not being done right and transforming it into the good. So I love the way you do that. It's excellent.
Yeah, that was a lot of times. There was actually, I've been offered a lot of job offers in the past, and they came up to me and say, "Bruno, if you cannot post, I would hire in a heartbeat, but you cannot post that stuff because we are very conservative." And we talk about big manufacturers. I'm not mentioning those names, but big manufacturers, big roofing contractors. And I say, I cannot change myself. If I cannot post that, thank you for the offer, but I cannot accept it. We're still going to be good friends, but I cannot accept that because it will be changing myself. And if you don't see the quality of exposing those people, it's not to bash, like I said before, but it's just to see that there's good and there's bad too, so I want to show them that. So people are more aware to hire professionals, qualified and certified roofing contractors instead of hiring, chuck in a truck, so.
No,
John,
that's
I've got
great.
a question for you. How was the IFD meeting?
Oh, it was very, very good. They've got a lot of good stuff coming up for next year. Keep your eyes peeled for sure. Working on finishing up the 2 commissions that I'm on. One is working on the recommendations of best practices for low slope roofing, waterproofing, and also under the waterproofing side as far as, door sill details and flashing. And I just got asked to be on the new commission that's coming out on basically, green renewable type roofing with the climate, looking into climate change. So I look really forward to being on that. That sounds like an exciting commission to be on. So yeah, I love working with the IFD. It's great. We gave them a shout out here. I always give them a shout out. Hard-working group from all over Europe that sits on there. And there's from some other countries as well involved, but the bulk of the ones that I'm involved with are from all over different European countries. So excellent group.
All right.
Well, again, Andrew, it's always a pleasure having you on. And of course, you and I will be back for our next World of Roofing coming up next month. And Bruno, glad to have you on here. I know you got to go. You got a lot of important things to do up there at the NRCA meeting. So thank you for taking time out today and visiting with us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Andrew. It was a pleasure to finally put a face on you. John, yeah, thumbs up, right? John, was a pleasure. I was talking to you. We're good friends for so many years, It's always a pleasure to see you when we go to FRSA or IRE or NRC events, It's always a pleasure.
IRE, is only 13 weeks away.
There we go.
Orleans, so coming up quick.
All right.
All
We'll
right.
see you there, brother.
All right, we'll see you there. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.